You defect. You don't belong here with that missing arm. Now, get out. As the irate yell reverberated throughout the shop, I automatically ducked behind my sister Emily and turned to face the man in front of us. The man had a menacing look on his face as he looked down on Emily and me. I'm sorry. My sister, who was terrified, started crying. Something in me exploded when I saw those tears. I've reached my breaking point. Then you were fired as of today. With a cold stare at the men, I said those words. My name is Kyle. Right after graduating from high school, I started working at a company as an employee. Hey Kyle, I'm home. Hey Emily, how was your day? Emily, my sister, just started working this year. Come here, Emily, I'll help you take it off. It's okay, I can do it by myself. But it's hard to do alone, isn't it? Come here. Geez, Kyle, you're too overprotective. Emily sighed slightly, exasperated, and rolled up the sleeve of her left arm. Emily's left arm is a prosthetic. Moreover, she has only recently started using it, so Emily is still not quite used to putting it on and taking it off. When Emily said she wanted to live alone after becoming a working adult, I couldn't allow it. Our parents are no longer with us, so naturally, I worry about Emily a lot. See? It's off now. Thanks, Kyle. Emily carefully cradled the removed prosthetic arm with her right arm. Hey, Kyle, today was my first payday. Is that so? It's already been a month since you started working at that factory. Congratulations. What are you going to buy with your first paycheck? Well, first, this here. Kyle, take this. Emily handed me an envelope filled with cash. It's to pay back what you fronted for the prosthetic. It might be little by little, but I'll make sure to pay it back. You don't have to worry about it. No way. This is something I definitely want to pay for with my own money. Well, also Kyle, let's go out to eat on our next day off. Remember that seafood restaurant we saw on TV? I'll treat you. Hey, that place is expensive. You don't need to do that. If you want to go, I'll treat you. Come on, that defeats the purpose. I want to give back for all the times you've taken care of me. Emily. I was incredibly happy that Emily cared so much about me, but it also made me feel a bit lonely. The next day, I talked about it with my coworker, Alex. Emily wants to treat me to some pretty good seafood on her entry-level salary. What do you think, Alex? Well, that sounds nice. You should go, Alex said with a bright smile. I've known her since high school, and she gets along well with Emily too. Given her familiarity with me and my sister, I was hoping for some opening advice, but her straightforward opinion took me by surprise. I must have looked quite downcast as Alex cocked her head in confusion after seeing my face. What's wrong? Aren't you happy? No, it's not that. It's just that, actually, I've also received the money Emily saved to pay me back for the prosthetic arm. I'm worried that if she spends so much, she won't have much money left for herself. I don't think there's anything to worry about. Really? Yes, because that's what Emily wants to do, right? You should accept her feelings. Maybe you're right. Look, if you're going to keep worrying about it, I'll go out to dinner with Emily in your place. What? No way, that's definitely not happening. All right then, stop fussing and let Emily treat you. Okay, Kyle. Alex teased, smirking and tapping me lightly on the head. Okay, I get it. While I still felt a bit uneasy, I understood what Alex was trying to say. I decided to accept Emily's feelings, and so the day came for Emily and me to go to the seafood restaurant. Kyle, are you ready? Yeah, ready whenever you are. I turned around as I responded. There stood Emily, dressed a bit more fashionably than usual. Wow, Emily, you look nice. Really? I don't look too childish. Are you sure it's okay? It's fine. You look beautiful. I couldn't help but marvel at how grown-up she had become. Then shall we get going? I smiled, trying to mask the sudden surge of loneliness, and urged Emily on. We'd arrived at the restaurant and were seated at the counter in front of the open kitchen. We were quickly admitted thanks to Emily's reservation. Could we start with a few chef's choice appetizers, please? Of course, the chef nodded at Emily's order, and with skillful hands, he prepared the appetizers and placed them in front of us. It was the best stuff I had ever tasted. This is amazing. It's delicious, Kyle. It really is. Thanks, Emily, for bringing me to such a nice place. Hey, are you crying, Kyle? No, it's just something in my eye. I tried to hide the tears welling up from the emotional moment, turning my face away from Emily. I caught the eye of the smiling chef, feeling a bit embarrassed. By the way, how's work going? Are you managing okay? I'm doing fine. I'm a bit clumsy at times, but I'm getting used to it. No worries, Emily said with a bright smile. But I knew something she didn't. Occasionally, Emily would come home with bruises here and there. I had once pressed her to tell me what was happening. I'm just not used to the environment and the tasks, so I end up bumping into things here and there, Emily said, as if it were nothing. True to Emily's words, the frequency of her coming home injured had decreased lately, but I still couldn't help but worry. Emily, if anything tough happens at work, you need to tell me right away. Geez, I told you, I'm fine. You really worry too much. Kyle, sorry, was I being too persistent? No, it's because you're always there for me, Kyle, that I can keep trying my best. Thank you so much. Emily's tears began to well up in my eyes again. I guess I tend to get overly concerned when it comes to Emily. Emily's current job is at a factory that I helped her get through a connection at my company. They mainly assemble parts there, and they've assigned Emily some simple tasks she can manage with one arm. Before Emily started working at the factory, I insisted that having a prosthetic arm would be definitely better, but Emily refused to let me pay for it. Kyle, I want to work hard and pay for the prosthetic arm with my own money. Please don't pay for it. But Emily, it would be better to have the prosthetic sooner, don't you think? Ideally, before you start working at the factory. I know, but Emily closed her mouth, a complex expression on her face. By this time, Emily had become less dependent on me. It wasn't long ago that she would run to me crying over the smallest things. Kyle, I'm sorry, but I can't budge on this. I want to pay for the prosthetic with my own money. That's what I want to do. All right. If you insist that much, we'll do it your way. Really? Is that okay? Just, in next change, let's get the prosthetic made right now. Oh, what do you mean? I don't have that much saved up yet. Seeing Emily's confused and worried face, I gently placed my hand on her head. Yeah, so I'll cover the initial costs. Once you start getting your salary, you can pay me back little by little, as long as it's not too hard on you. Kyle. Tears started to roll down Emily's cheeks. Thank you. I'll definitely pay you back. It's okay if you don't, though. No, I must. I absolutely will. You have to take it when I do. It's a promise. Okay, I understand. I understand. I stroked Emily's head, comforting her as she began to cry. It hasn't been that long since that day, but lately it feels like Emily is growing up at an incredible rate. As I gazed at Emily's face, she gave me a slightly troubled smile. What's wrong, Kyle? I was just thinking. You've really grown up. Of course I am. I'm an adult now, you know. I even want to live on my own. That's out of the question. Besides, you can commute from home for now, so there's no need to rush into living alone, right? Maybe you're right. I guess I'll keep relying on you a bit longer then, she said with a laugh. Perhaps she realized how earnest I had become. Emily looked at me with a mischievous smile. Kyle, thank you for supporting me this far. I might lean on you a lot more in the future, but today is on me. Sod, thank you, Emily. When Emily first started working, it wasn't just the injuries. She often looked exhausted when she came home. I had thought about convincing her to quit if this continued, but Emily has persevered and continued with her job. I felt a deep sense of emotion at Emily's growth. Today would truly be a memorable day for us siblings as we enjoyed the delicious meal and had a great time. A man unexpectedly approached us from behind. Emily, what are you doing here? Oh, good evening, Mr. Jones. Seeing the face of the man who approached, Emily's expression darkened instantly. It was rare to see Emily, who's usually so friendly, show such an attitude towards someone, which made me scrutinize the man's face closely. So, who's this guy? Your boyfriend. No, that's not it. This is my brother. Mr. Jones glanced at me disdainfully. I didn't like his attitude, but considering he was someone from Emily's workplace, it seemed better not to stir up trouble. Are you from Emily's workplace? I'm her brother, Kyle. Nice to meet you. I'm Bill Jones, the factory manager. Mr. Jones seemed to be around my age. Despite being the manager, he was quite young. I remembered hearing that a veteran worker at Emily's factory had retired not long ago. Mr. Jones, Emily's always been grateful for your guidance, but let's leave work out of this since we're in a private setting and enjoy our time here today. Yeah, sure. I tried to casually steer the conversation away and distance us from him, but for some reason, Mr. Jones decided to sit down next to Emily. Feeling uneasy about it, I turned my attention back to Emily. Emily, would you like to order something new? Yeah, let's see. What should we get? Emily smiled awkwardly, leaning towards me as if she felt uncomfortable next to Mr. Jones. He was watching her intently with a somewhat oppressive gaze. Emily, could you look this way for a second? What? Oh, just as I thought. There's an eyelash on your cheek. Go to the restroom and take it off. Oh, sorry, and thank you. I'll be right back. Taking the opportunity while Emily was away, I moved to her seat. I somehow felt it wasn't right to leave Emily and this man side by side. You seem to get along well with your sister. I guess it's normal, I think. Now I see. It's because you spoil her so much that she's always so cuddled. His gaze felt unsettling, as if he was assessing me. At this point, I had a hunch the reason Emily often looked unhappy when she came home from work must be because of this man. Kyle, sorry for the wait, and thanks. It's okay. No worries. Emily seemed to understand my actions. Upon returning from the restroom, though a bit bewildered, she took the seat I had been in. Excuse me, could we get a couple more Chef's Choice plates, please? Of course, just a moment. Chef's Choice. Mr. Jones let out a low chuckle as Emily placed her order with the chef. Someone as useless as you, who can't even carry a load, sure is living the high life. It's a special occasion today. Oh, despite dropping important parts every day and getting yelled at. His words revealed something I couldn't ignore. It seemed Emily was being made to carry loads at the factory. Excuse me, sir, may I have a word? What is it? I asked, looking at Mr. Jones, who regarded me as if I were an annoyance. I couldn't help but glare back. Mr. Jones, Emily isn't suited for heavy lifting tasks. I was under the impression that your factory was aware of this and hired her with that understanding. Weren't you aware of this? What are you talking about? We're paying her a salary. We can't afford to give anyone special treatment. Can we? After belittling me with those words, he deliberately leaned over to Emily, grinning slightly. It's disgusting, really. I have to tolerate your uselessness at work, and here you are dining in a fancy place. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. A defective product like you with only one arm doesn't belong here. Get out now. Hey, Mr. Jones, please don't raise your voice. Instinctively, I shielded Emily and moved away from Mr. Jones. Emily, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Emily tried to hold back, but her voice trembled, and tears spilled from her eyes. Emily, don't apologize. There's no need for you to be sorry. I wrapped an arm around Emily's shoulder, offering her a handkerchief. She weakly accepted it and stifled a sob. Why should Emily have to endure such treatment? It was unjust. Emily didn't choose to be one-armed. Hearing her cry, my mind drifted back to the dreadful memory of the accident. It happened several years ago. That day, Emily was headed to a piano competition with our parents. Kyle, can you come today? Sorry, I've got a practice match with the club. I see. Then it can't be helped. Let's celebrate when I get back. You're bound to win something, Emily. Okay, I'll do my best. Thanks, Kyle. I'm off then. She waved with a smile, joining our parents in the car. Little did I know, tragedy would strike soon after. Dad, Mom, Emily. Suddenly called by the club advisor, I was faced with an unbearable truth. I rushed to the hospital, directed to the operating room, screaming. You must be Kyle, right? Yes, that's me. Doctor, how are my parents and my sister? I'm sorry. Unfortunately, your parents. It can't be. My mind went blank. It was a car accident. I was told they collided head-on with a car that veered into their lane. Despite all medical efforts, my parents were gone. And Kyle, please brace yourself about your sister. Emily. The reality the doctor revealed floored me. After a long surgery, Emily was the only one who miraculously survived. Kyle, where's Emily? It's okay. I'm here. That's good. Hey, Kyle, my left hand. It doesn't move and doesn't hurt at all. What happened to my left hand? It's okay. Don't worry. Just rest for now. I'll always be by your side. Soon, her breathing evened out in sleep. Gently, I touched Emily's left shoulder. Oh, Emily. Seeing Emily with her arm completely missing from the elbow down, I couldn't hold back my tears. Emily had aspired to be a pianist. Both our parents and I always supported Emily's dream. The realization that such aspirations had been dashed caused me great distress. Despite knowing that neither our parents would return nor Emily's arm would come back, the sense of loss was overwhelming. After graduating from high school, I chose to work. Kyle, are you sure you don't want to go to college? Yeah, it's fine. I didn't have a specific goal in mind, but Emily, you shouldn't give up on your dream of becoming a pianist. But how can I, with a near-tearful expression? Emily touched her shortened left arm. My left hand. It's gone. How can I become a pianist now? That's not true. Once your surgical wounds heal, we'll get you a prosthetic arm, and then you can start practicing again. I'm sure you'll be able to play the piano again. Really? Of course. Dad, Mom, and I will always be there to support you. Thank you, Kyle. I was determined not to let Emily give up on her dream of becoming a pianist. Somehow, continuing to strive for her goal felt like a way to maintain a connection with our departed parents. And so began our life together as siblings. Kyle, the pot's burning. Burning. Oh, sorry. Emily, it's dangerous. Don't touch it. At first, we struggled with unfamiliar household chores. Enough. I've come to help. It's unfair to Emily to eat such food. Sorry, Alex. I'd appreciate the help. Seeing my never-improving culinary skills, Alex offered a helping hand out of concern. From now on, I'll take care of the laundry, so don't you dare touch it, Kyle. But that's too much. I'm not doing this for you. Emily asked me for help. Really, you should be more considerate, even if you're siblings. Sorry. Regardless of our sibling bond, Emily was a girl of a certain age. There might be things she found hard to discuss with me. While Alex's help with chores was invaluable, What I truly appreciated was her willingness to listen to Emily's concerns. Through it all, we supported each other and persevered together. Why should someone like Mr. Jones, who knew nothing about us, say such things to us? Seeing Emily cry under his intimidation, something inside me snapped. Mr. Jones. As I stood up, protecting Emily, I turned to face Mr. Jones. Yeah, what is it? Big bro. Don't call me big bro. It makes me sick. Sorry, big bro. Mr. Jones's condescending laughter pushed me past my limit. Mr. Jones, you are fired as of today. What? What are you talking about? His eyes widened in shock at my words. Kyle. Emily looked up at me worried. Emily, let's go. Wait a minute. What do you mean by that? As we attempted to leave, Mr. Jones called out to us in a panic. I couldn't be bothered to explain. I pulled out my wallet, fished a business card, and tossed it at him. This is no way you are. I'll be reporting your behavior. Even if the higher-ups forgive you, I never will. Remember that. Ignoring Mr. Jones as he stuttered and gaped after seeing my business card, Emily and I settled our bill at the restaurant and left. We then visited Alex's house to discuss a certain matter. Welcome. I've been waiting. Emily, are you okay? Oh dear, you've cried so much. Who thing, Alex? Bye, it's okay. Alex and Kyle will protect you. You don't have to worry about anything now. Alex welcomed us at the door and embraced the crying Emily. Kyle, I got the gist over the phone, but let's talk more once you've settled down. While holding Emily, I could see the fury in Alex's eyes. Soon after, Alex took Emily to the bedroom and put her to bed. Sitting in the living room and waiting for Alex, she came over and sat down on the sofa opposite me with a sigh. Did you manage to get anything out of Emily? Yes, but you might not want to hear it. She made me promise not to tell you. Crying, I had a rough idea. Thanks, Alex. Alex avoided eye contact with me as if disgusted. It seemed likely the bruises on Emily's body were probably not just from dropping things, but from other incidents too. That man, he can be forgiven. I understand. Let's go to the factory together tomorrow. Are you sure? Alex, Kyle, I feel the same way as you. Okay, thanks. Finally making eye contact, we nodded in understanding. Our resolve was unified. Tomorrow, we would confront that man. The next day, Emily, Alex, and I went to the piano factory. Mr. Smith, from the back. Mr. Jones, having spotted us, rushed over as Emily flinched. Alex and I shielded her and faced Mr. Jones. Thank you so much for coming. I had no idea you were an employee of Carter Music. I deeply apologize for my rudeness yesterday. What a turnaround from yesterday's attitude. Mr. Jones kept smiling and apologizing to me. I was speechless at a sudden change of heart. Well, it's not surprising. The company where Alex and I work is a major client of this factory. Moreover, it wouldn't be an exaggeration to say they are almost exclusively a prime contracting company. Mr. Jones, before apologizing to me, could you please apologize to Emily for yesterday and for everything before that? Well, that is. With a look that said I knew everything, I stared him down. Sweating, Mr. Jones looked around nervously. Just so you know, there's no escaping this. What's with you? Oh, my apologies. I haven't introduced myself. Nor Alex. Cut it. You are. Mr. Jones was shocked as he checked his business card. The current president of Carter Music is my father, and I work here as a prospective president. Is there a problem? No, of course not. I'm terribly sorry. So you see, you're missing the point. The person you really need to apologize to is Emily. Alex, Kyle, it's okay. I'm fine now. From behind Alex and me, Emily let out a soft cry. Then, staring down Mr. Jones with all her might, she stepped in front of us. "Mr. Jones, I am resigning from this factory as of today. Though my time here was short, I am grateful for the opportunity." Saying that, Emily apologized profoundly. What? What are you talking about all of a sudden? It's not like it matters if someone useless like you leaves. I couldn't care less. Don't come crying back to me. Well, we'll see who ends up regretting this. Remember what I said about reporting this matter to the higher-ups. What meaning? I've already informed our CEO about this issue. Naturally, our dealings are official. The official documents will follow. You're finished. I've never seen my father so furious before. No. Please. Hearing Alex's words, Mr. Jones collapsed to his knees, his face turning pale with despair. While he was visibly dejected, I whispered to him in a way Emily couldn't hear. Listen, I will never forgive you for laying a hand on Emily. Don't you dare show your face to Emily and me ever again. Yes, sir. Leaving a diminished Mr. Jones behind, we left the factory. Some time later, Emily officially resigned from the piano factory and joined the company where Alex and I work. Here, Emily, this will be your station. Wow, such a magnificent piano. All the attachments to the prosthetic hand for playing music are in place. Emily, do you think you can manage? Of course. Thank you so much for preparing such a wonderful place for me, Alex, and Kyle. I'll do my best. Knowing Emily's situation, Alex's father, the president of Carter Music, started a new business venture for her. That venture was the company's own piano school. It focused on lessons for people with disabilities like Emily's, and she was set to teach here. Emily had started playing the piano again, and through the lessons, she had quickly mastered playing with a prosthetic hand. Emily initially played and taught songs that could be played with the right hand only, but has now grown to the point of teaching advanced pieces that require both hands. After some time passed, it's finally time for Emily's pianist debut. Yeah, I'll have some good news to share with Dad and Mom when I get home today. It's a dream come true for your family. Alex and I attended Emily's first concert as a professional pianist, rumored as a miraculous prosthetic pianist. The public's response was immense, and today's concert tickets sold out immediately. Hey, why don't we go say hi in the dressing room first? Jay, that's a good idea. I hope Emily isn't too nervous. Urged by Alex, we headed to Emily's dressing room. Knocking and entering, we were greeted by Emily's smiling face. Kyle, Alex, I'm so glad you came. Of course. Congratulations on today, Emily. After the concert, why don't you, Kyle and I, go out for a celebratory meal? Oh, about that? Alex, there's a staff party after the concert today, so I'm sorry, but you and Kyle should go have dinner together. That's a shame. Tough luck. Alex laughed at Alex's disappointment. I couldn't help but find it funny. Kyle, come here for a second. What's up? While I was still chuckling, Emily grabbed my arm and pulled me to a corner of the room. She seemed to have something on her mind. I listened attentively. Kyle, you know this is the perfect opportunity, right? Opportunity for what? Kyle, you and Alex are alone today. It's the perfect chance to confess. Hut. Emily, since when did you know about that? From the very beginning, Kyle. You always put others first, didn't you? I'm fine now. Okay, Emily said this with a cheerful smile. Don't worry, Kyle. I think you two definitely have mutual feelings for each other. Is that so? What are you two whispering about over there? It's nothing. I blurted out suddenly, too conscious to look Alex in the eye. What's the matter? Your face is flushed. Are you all right? Yeah, I'm fine, I forced myself to say. Emily was obviously amused by the situation and smiled broadly as she observed our conversation. Emily's dream came realized on this day. It seems that I might no longer be her staunchest ally. But that's a tale for another day. As for what happens next, Alex and I end up getting closer than ever.